Cool.
Okay. Hey, folks, just give us a sec while we wait for some people to come on. All right. Hey, folks, okay, we're just waiting for some folks to come on. How are you doing, Patrick? All good?
Oh, good, thanks. Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, top of the world, wish we were here. Making sure that we've got something going on here. All right. Okay, so if you can hear us, just make sure our audio and our pictures are working and our sound. Just give us a thumbs up or a hey, howdy, or I can hear you. Let's see, we should be getting some comments in. All righty then. So shall we crack on in the meantime, Patrick, while we're waiting for people to get on? So folks, today we're discussing with Patrick a few things. I'll allow him to introduce himself and then we can crack on to the main topic. Yeah, so over to you, Patrick. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Cool. So I'm Patrick Herklots. I'm a trainee solicitor at Coles Miller Solicitors, and I'm currently in my second seat, and I'm doing family law at the moment. As a trainee, I go through 4 different seats, so this is my second out of 4, and I've just come back from furlough leave, and family is a new area that I've just stepped into.
Okay, cool beans. All right, so, and I'm Rob Emery. I'm a property negotiator for Power Bespoke, and I look after the buyers. I help buyers negotiate the best outcome for their properties, whether they're trying to get onto the property ladder or it's their second or third home that they're buying. Yeah, so let's get into the meat of it. So once again, if you can hear me, just give us a thumbs up so we can make sure that we've got everything cracking. We'll be discussing Patrick and his journey through lockdown and furlough. So, yeah, tell us a little about what your initial reaction was like going into lockdown and obviously being told that you were going to be furloughed.
Yeah, so just before I went to furlough, actually, I just started a new seat in my training contract. So I was about a month into a seat in commercial litigation. So I'm already quite new to a new team. And it was just as I was kind of building up my experience there that we started working from home initially as the lockdown measures started to hit. And because I was still quite new, I was working from home, but there was still a lot of experience I needed to pick up before I could properly work independently. And as this furlough scheme was announced, I started to realize that, I was definitely could be a candidate for this. But it's still, when I was told I'd go on furlough, it was still felt quite surprising to me. I was still very surprisingly unsettled. And initially you kind of scramble around and just kind of think, what do I do from here on in?
Yeah, it's I suppose a bit of a crazy time for everyone, quite uncertain.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that if you're listening and you know anyone that can use this information, please do share. It'll probably be helpful to quite a lot of people out there. If we move along, so going through the furlough and lockdown and you're sort of at home, what did you do? How did you get through? What were your activities, keeping yourself busy, positive, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it took me about a week to kind of settle into the new lifestyle really that I was in. And I had to find some way to motivate myself. And one of the things I did, which I did quite soon after being put on furlough, was I started writing an essay for the Junior Lawyers Division essay competition. They do one every year. And I thought this is actually quite a good opportunity to focus my mind on something. And actually, for me personally, because of the way that I got into law, I never really had time to invest a lot of time into one essay. It'd always been many at once without having to kind of focus that much on one topic. And it was really interesting. I got a lot out of it. But other ways I motivated myself as well were I really got into running actually. I think that I'd never got into it before. I didn't see the attraction of it particularly. I like playing football, but I didn't see running as fun because it's not a sport. But I actually got so much out of that as well. That was really good. And then other things I was doing is my friends have recently started a book review club. Well, not, and we've
Okay.
made a website for that, and we've put in some submissions for that, and that's all going on now. And that was a really good way to get kind of people together, invest in something that was kind of exciting and kind of motivated us.
So besides for the book club, how do you guys stay connected?
Well, the common theme across a lot of people seems to be doing Zoom meetings, and a lot of my friends, we did Zoom quizzes, and then with family members as well. It's a really valuable thing to do, I think. Like with my cousins, we did these Zoom quizzes, and we're doing this other thing, which is we're watching one Shakespeare play a week, and we're discussing that on Zoom as well, which some people find quite interesting. But yeah,
I guess before we go to the next question, a bit of a one from the left field is, what do you reckon is the most what have you benefited out of having this time sort of at home, and besides being able to get all extra essays done and the running and all that kind of stuff, has there been any added benefits for you personally, work-wise, whatever the case may be?
I think really, yeah, it's really allowed me to recalibrate and kind of bring, because it's been a very busy few years for me, and to have a kind of month off really allowed me to recenter my thoughts and kind of refocus myself in what I'm doing. And like with the essay I was doing, and I was reading a lot more, I really found that coming back into work, I'd actually gained a lot of experience that has actually, I can feel it benefiting me as I come in. It's also good just to kind of refresh the mind and kind of develop yourself a bit and kind of focus on yourself.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so it was a good time to sit and sort of reflect, and self-improvement, I suppose, is one of those words that was thrown around. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you kind of get given a blank slate to kind of look at yourself and think, what can I do here? You've got a few months at home without anything to do, but you have to look around and think what will benefit you.
Yeah, so yeah, that was personally, also time to reflect, time to re-energize and just get back on it as hard and as quick as possible. Cool. So what's changed for you because obviously you just started in a new seat, you went into furlough. Did you get the same seat when you came back, or were you thrown a curveball?
Well, it's actually, so I was brought back into a different area of law. So I got a call from human resources in my firm, and they asked whether I could come back and do family law because they've been exceptionally busy. And so I jumped on that opportunity. Thought it'd be great to come back a bit earlier and help them out. And so that's where I've moved into now.
Okay, cool. And you enjoying it?
Enjoy it a lot. It's really busy here. I find the work naturally interesting. You learn a lot about other people's lives in this area of law, and there's a lot of interpersonal skills that need to be used when listening to people's problems over the phone, for example. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I feel that it's given me a chance to kind of test the skills that I've built up over the past year or so on my training contract, because there's a little bit more demand because of the amount of work that's being put my way.
Cool, that's good. Well, at least you're enjoying it. I suppose let's get to the nitty gritty and say, if you had to meet someone and give them some advice that are sort of maybe about to go through this process, because I mean, some people are still on furlough and they're probably looking to get back to work, or people that are still in furlough and about to go back to work, what advice would you give those people?
Well, I think if you're one of the people who are about to go back into work, I think to an extent it's, you enjoy it to an extent. I mean, I've really enjoyed coming back, and I was actually surprised by how restoring it felt, kind of just driving back to work. Although some people might be coming back to work from home
Yeah.
as well, so that might be a bit of a different experience for them. But I think really enjoy it. Maybe if you've learned anything about yourself or any experiences you've gained, try to utilize the work doing or will be doing now. Yeah.
Cool. So I guess that's it. I suppose from our perspective, it does give everyone a new opportunity. So in terms of going back to work, yeah, it's a good opportunity to start again. And I suppose from our perspective as estate agents, for people getting on to the property ladder or moving on, there's obviously been quite a high demand now in the country, out in the country, for people moving out of London and looking for that space, I suppose, as opposed to being stuck in the city. Yeah. So other than that, I think it's a good opportunity for the whole, as a whole, just to get cracking and enjoy what you do. Anything else from your side, Paddy?
Well, I think it's really nice to see what, the way that, in my network, I'm seeing a lot of people kind of taking on a lot of opportunities over during this time. I mean, particularly aspiring lawyers. There's lots of the new webinars or networking sessions being done online, and I'm seeing a lot of people in my network, use these opportunities to really get experience. So I think it's a great chance to kind of make the most of the internet and get a lot of new things out of it, even if you're just stuck at home.
Yeah, I suppose there has been quite a lot of people that have been generous enough to share their knowledge for free at the end of the day, just help everyone else get better.
Exactly.
I think from our side, I don't know if anyone out there's got any questions. Feel free to drop it in the comments. Alternatively, drop in the comments, and if we see it later, we'll answer it as best as we can. But I think that's it from our side. If you've got anything to end off on.
No, that's all good. Thanks.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah, keep an eye out for Rob Talks. We'll be doing this more regularly with a whole bunch of different people discussing different topics. It'll be good to get some interaction out there. So other than that, have a fantastic weekend. Yeah, we'll catch up soon. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.